the nervousness.
Oh man. All right, so I think we're live. I think we're live, all the way live. How's it going, Kali?
The nervousness. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Things are going well. Things are
Things are
going
going
well. I'm
well.
happy to be here in this West Coast Wednesday.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad to have you once again. Thank you for joining.
Man, I'm ready to go on this one. I am ready to go on this one. Yes.
I know we got a lot to cover, man, and I think we're both of the same mind. You know, we can go, we can talk if we need to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has a best friend. And every time they're at church, it's like, okay, they always shut the, we always shut the doors down because they're talking so much. And so I was like, okay, y'all, y'all gonna call each other in about 2 hours anyway. But it's,
Madam Riley, I love her. That's
man,
my cousin right there.
okay, so let me make sure we're live somewhere. I see we have a couple of watchers. So, man, how was your day today, Callie?
Man, it was pretty good. I got to do one of my kind of favorite things. It's this weird thing. I went grocery shopping today. My mother, my sister, my sister, my daughter said that she read something on social media that said, you get a know when you look forward to going grocery shopping. And I was like, yep, that's me. So,
Listen,
I went to the grocery store, it was double ad Wednesday. So this is
do they still
my
have that?
favorite day. Say what?
Do they still have that?
Yes, they
Double
do.
double ad. So
Double
you get
ad Wednesday.
double the coupons, right?
This is the way double at Wednesday go.
Okay.
The grocery store, they release their sale paper every Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
on Wednesday you get the sales that are for the upcoming week and for the
And
week
okay, I
prior. So
got you.
that's why it's called double ad Wednesday.
Got you.
And
Okay. All right.
so
Makes
that's
sense.
the day to go grocery shopping.
It makes sense. So
At
yeah,
least at Sprouts.
got you. Okay. So um, I was about to say when I was in retail, I never worked in retail before, but I used to go to the Lamo Mall, and on Thursday, because to your point, all the sales in some of the stores, the sales will begin on Thursday. And so I would make it a point to go to the store that I want to get my clothing or whatever on Thursday because I knew that was the start of the sale. And if I got there on time, then I could get my size and I can get to choose
Ooh,
whatever it is I wanted to get, right? So that's funny.
yes.
Double double
Double ad
double
Wednesday.
ad Wednesday.
Double ad.
Okay.
Now I don't know if this is the case at all the grocery stores. It
Sure.
is at Sprouts.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
All right.
it is at Sprouts, and that's where I shop. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, no, I was like I think I told you early during the pre-show. I'm just so happy to be at home today because my students, they're only 3 and 4, and they're on,
you tell me, how are they treating you?
man, listen. And I had one little boy, he would just beat me up. I'm like, I'm not doing anything, sir. I'm just, now, of course, my students are on the spectrum, but, oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. So he decided to, just wanted to run around with his pants down and just in his diaper. And I'm like, no, dude, you cannot do that. Let's not do that. So first he was trying to psych me out. He went up the slide, and he's a little agile. He likes to climb, and so I waited till he kind of went down on the slide, and I picked him up, and I spent like 5 minutes
Yeah.
trying to help him
But
put on
isn't
his
that a workout?
pants.
Isn't that a
I'm like,
workout though?
I'm like, man, help me, help you. I'm just trying to help you. I'm not doing it. So, and then I got the pants on him, and then he was chasing me and hitting me. And I'm like, come on, man.
I
So,
don't know what it is, but seeing these babies running around and they pamper, it's the
was
funniest thing.
wait, and let me drink some water. It is
Get you
funny.
some water.
It is funny, but if one starts to do it, then they all want to do it.
Oh, they multiply.
Listen, okay, we got 6 seconds. Listen, it's hard enough trying to keep their shoes on, but we'll talk about that on the other side. Oh, wow. Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful West Coast Wednesday. Hopefully, you're doing well wherever you're watching from. And I see that we have a couple of viewers. Hola, says Art Cummings. What's going on, Art? And then Tanya V says, "Go, Kylie." So yay. And then I just had to give a shout out just to make sure that I was in tune, and I saw your comment in chat. I wanted to make sure that I acknowledge you. So thank you for being here. Hopefully everything is going well wherever you are. Let's turn the music down just a little bit. I don't want it to overpower, but I do just want it to let it just kind of run around in the background. Let's kind of set the scene a little bit. So I have one of my favorite live streamers on the show, and she just happens to be using the same software, and I think that's kind of how we connected, using the same exact software that I'm using. So we're gonna bring on Kali in a couple of moments. But before we do that, and I see my camera's kind of, whatever will go wrong. Let's see if we can correct it. Okay, are we back up? Let's see. Let's go to another scene here, man. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but hopefully you can still hear me. I still see my vocal cords registering on the live, and I'm just waiting for my picture to come back in. So let's see if we can make that happen. There we go. Okay. Woo! You cannot just have an invisible live streaming interview conversation tonight. That's not going to happen. That would be not too good. But anyway, so yeah, Kylie, she's going to be on the show. We're going to talk to her in a few moments, just about a myriad of things. And so we appreciate you hopping on this evening. So if you're watching on YouTube, why don't you do me a favor? If you like my content, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, like, and ring the notification bell. That way, you'll know every time we drop a brand new video or go live, you can be involved in the conversation or whatever it is that we're talking about. And then for those of you who want to support the channel, you can kind of support me. It is the holiday season. Time for giving. Buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Riley's World. That way you can buy me a couple of coffees, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter. Just buy a cup of coffee if you choose to. And then also for those of you who are interested in checking out some of the goodness that I have that you can't see, but I'm kind of using all the equipment to make this happen. You can go to Home Kit Studio. So that is kit.co /Mr. Riley's World, and you can kind of see what I'm using to produce this wonderful show. So actually, I have three areas of fitness. I think on the go kit, and then my home streaming studio. So you get a chance to kind of check all that good information out. All right. So let's go ahead and bring in my friend. Like I said, she is a content creator, and we're going to talk about her being a yogi, and she's also pivoting, as well as some other stuff that we're going to get into tonight. So without further ado, we're going to welcome my good friend, Kali Alexander.
Woo woo.
Whoa, whoa. Here you go. I got you. Hold on.
James Riley.
Hold on. Let me bring it in real quick. Let's go ahead and bring it in like where? Oh, here it is. You know what? Let's bring it in like this, okay? Like we're at the DJ house.
Oh.
What up, Kylie? How you feeling?
What it do, James Riley? I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, I'm happy to be
Season's
home.
greetings.
Hey, absolutely. Season's greetings. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Merry Christmas. Gung Hai Fat Choi, which is
There we
a
go.
happy. Yeah, you know what that is? That's
Chinese New Year, right?
there you go. See, that's what I'm saying. Because like you said, you were a teacher, and so you kind of know, some of those cultural celebrations that happen during the winter. So that
Yeah,
was
man.
one of the ones that I just happened to remember. What's
Yeah,
going on?
I was a teacher. I'm doing well. I'm so glad to be here. It's the end of this year. This year has been filled with a lot of different things. So I'm excited
Absolutely.
to start to chop it up with you about all those things.
Absolutely. Now, you know what? A couple of weeks ago, you hopped on my live, and we were talking. I think we were talking to a former teacher. I think it was with my friend Veda. Shout out to Veda Gray, math consultant extraordinaire
Yes.
over in Illinois and Chicago area. So check this out. You said, and even tonight in the pre-show, you said that you were a teacher. Now, where did you teach? Here in LA?
I taught, yeah, I taught at Linwood Unified School District.
Got you.
Um, I taught I taught first grade for a couple years. Loved first grade. I love working with the babies because you're teaching them how to read, you're teaching them how
Yeah.
to, do all those fundamental things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my principal at the time, Miss Coffee, may she rest in peace. I was just talking to actually Naya about her a moment ago. One of my mentors, she took me kicking and screaming to teach fourth grade. I was upset that whole summer. I was like, I do not want to teach fourth grade. I don't want to teach fourth. I want to stay with the baby. She was like, no, I'm going to put you in fourth grade. She said, look, you can do it this
Right.
way, or you can just show up and be enthusiastic.
Right.
She said, but you don't teach fourth grade.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hook or crook, you gonna do
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. So it took me the 3 months that we have off during summer, 2.5 months, to get my enthusiasm and my head together. And I loved teaching fourth grade.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love teaching fourth grade. So yeah, that was in a former life. That's what I did. But the theme of teaching has just been something that has run through my entire career history. I've always taught in some capacity. I think that that's something that I'm just kind of gravitate toward.
Absolutely. No, I mean, when I taught fourth grade, when I taught general ed, I fourth grade and fifth grade, because I didn't have I only had a multiple subject credential, so that is used for the elementary kids, and so I loved the fourth and fifth grade. Had to be the upper, the upper grade kids.
Yeah.
But then eventually, during my course as a teacher, I did a couple of long term sub assignments in a kindergarten class, and I've taught everything from kinder to eighth grade. So, but
Wow.
I do love the fourth and fifth grade students. Probably that just that grade level the most.
Yeah, that grade level is really special because you you probably will understand this too. It's like when you're teaching like first grade, you're teaching students how to read, right? And then when you get to like fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, you're teaching them how to read first grade. But then when they get to those upper grades, then you're teaching them how to read to learn,
Yeah.
right? So you're working on comprehension, you're working on analysis and all that kind of thing. And then you start to talk to them about some things that are going on in the world. So I found it to be, one of the most enjoyable things that I ever did. And it also gave me a new perspective on homework. It was one of those years, my second grade of teaching fourth grade, that I said that I would never assign projects to do at home again.
Sure.
Because the first time I assigned a project, I realized that the projects that were returned were the best projects were from families who had the resources and the
Yes.
time and the budget to be able
Absolutely.
to do that. And it's really
Absolutely.
unfair,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do all the projects in class. Every single project we'll do will be in class. And I think that the students learn more because of that,
Yeah.
instead of,
Absolutely.
because it ends up becoming a burden on the families too, to
Yes.
do those projects at home, right?
It's
You
especially
have 4 children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
please.
especially I was going to say, especially if they have the struggle to get the resources to complete the project. So,
That part.
and I would see that too sometimes. I would like assign a diorama or just a 3D kind of create a scene of a habitat for your chosen animal or whatever. I remember one of the girls, her name was Samantha, years ago. She had this nice. I mean, it was nice, right? She had the polar bear, and
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the ocean and the polar bear. And then you had other folks bringing stuff in the shoebox, and it was just like, it just it was just a
Yeah.
big difference. So no, well, we appreciate you being a part of the teaching community, molding the young minds of our young people. So we appreciate it, man. And you're still a teacher
Thank you.
because you're still, we're going to talk about your pivots, your life pivot. But
Yes.
let's go ahead and talk about this yogi situation, man. How was that going for you? Last time you were on, we were talking about yoga, and you're trying to get me to do some yoga, and I kind of didn't really get into it because the instructor was he was going too fast for me. I couldn't follow. I couldn't follow that dude. So, how was being a yogi going for you right now? Still,
Well, yoga is always going to be something that's going to be like that I always maintain because it's an incredible form of self-care. It's the whole mind, body, spirit connection that I just love, right? in terms of it being the work that my life's work, I'm definitely transitioning away from it. I work the way that I do so that I can, I'm a single mom, so that I can be available to my children. And my daughter, she is a senior in high school, and I'm so proud of her. She's the baby girl, the one coming up from behind, and well, she's not from behind, but the youngest of the three. And so she's about to make her next move, outside of secondary school. So now this gives me a chance to focus in on me and to, kind of create and carve out my lane and what I'm going to do for my career. So that's what I'm really excited about talking to you about, this career pivot that I'm in. And so that's where we are with the yoga. It still will be part of my life, but in terms of like my profession and what I do career wise, I'm going to be
Yes.
phasing that out.
Okay. And of course, you have tons of resources already online where people
Yes.
can go and check out. And now, let me just ask you, one additional question about, just being a yogi. What what is or what was your best recorded video that you have posted where folks can go and kind of check
Ooh.
out? I know you have a whole bunch, but what was your
I do.
favorite?
There's a lot on my channel. So folks can take a look at my YouTube channel. It's Chocolate Twist Yoga, youtube.com// Chocolate Twist Yoga.
I got you.
That is a hard one to say. This is what I would say, because the best really depends on what you're in the mood for, right?
Sure.
And what I did on that channel, which I'm really proud of, is that I have a pose a day yoga challenge.
Yes.
So for people who are newer to the practice of yoga, I take them from the most basic yoga pose, which is standing tall or sitting tall, to more elaborate standing poses, other standing poses. And so I would say that if someone is new to yoga, doing that pose a day yoga challenge is the place to go, because you'll get a solid practice just with those 30 days of yoga poses. Now, if you're looking for something there we go. At the very top, I have the 30-day. So it starts with mountain pose and it goes
Yes.
all the way through. Um, yeah, that Breathe It Out series is pretty cool.
Okay.
That
Okay.
Energize class right there. Oh, you know what? I see a class that I really love teaching.
Okay.
It's called Twisty Flowy Balance.
Okay.
That's
I
a
see it.
strong practice. Yep, that's a really cool practice. This mood boosting flow, that's a really cool one. This relax and release, this seated practice here. I mean,
Okay.
they all good.
Wait, I got you thinking about maybe I might pivot back because you over here just like, oh, this is good, this is good, oh, that was good
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, they're all good, but but I'm gonna leave these here for them to continue on, even as I move into a different field.
Absolutely, absolutely. So no, and I think we were talking in pre-show. We were talking about just me sitting down trying to follow the instructor on the TV, and I was just like, you know what, dude, you go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and watch you, which I probably should have done anyway. I should have watched him go through the yoga poses. It was a beginner class, and so I think it was only maybe 7 to 10 minutes, not too long in length, just kind of really basic moves and whatever. But I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to watch this like a couple of 10, 15 times before I get
Yeah.
really immersed into this thing. But it was a
That
fun time.
that's the thing about yoga, is that because that one class didn't work for you, it doesn't mean that yoga doesn't work for you. It just means that one class and that particular day didn't work for you.
Yeah,
There's some classes that I even have recorded that on a particular day it may not be right for me on that day, right? So I think it's a matter of giving yourself enough grace. Anyone who approaches the practice of yoga, giving yourself enough grace to say, hey, I'm in the mood for something that's a little bit more chill, or
absolutely,
I'm in the mood for something that's a little bit more invigorating, or I'm in the mood for something that just requires me to like be really focused and tuned in on my breathing. So being able to have that level of discernment, and that's what yoga really teaches us, is that to have that level of mindfulness in the moment, to have the level of discernment, because that's the skill set that's going to help us to better navigate our lives, right? So,
absolutely, absolutely.
so stay with it, Mr. Riley.
You know what? I'll have to. I need to do something. A little bit more healthcare instead of, the cookie to mouth, kind of thing. I have to do more of health.
Yeah.
Self care. I always kid with my students as a joke. I'm like, these little kids, they not gonna mess with me. I used to say, I'm 6'1", 250, right? Now this year, I'm still 6'1", but I'm not 250. I'm more like 260. So I'm like, okay, let me do something a little bit different. But no, and then
Well,
yeah, I know,
you know what I like to do on Tuesday and Thursday morning.
I know. I used to see you. But you know what? And I know I should get up early and do some stuff because I got my bike over here. And
Yeah.
when I got it last year, I was all in, and I'm still all in. I'm like, I pass it every day, and it's like, okay, I need to hop on and do at least 25, 30 minutes on my Pelly, right? So you
Yeah.
know what? So what I'm going to do after this show is I'm gonna ride 30 minutes on the Pelly. That's
So
my
you know
word.
I'm gonna talk to Miss Riley,
Oh,
and I'm gonna
but you
say,
know
did
what?
he
Wait,
do it?
wait. Let me see if she's watching. No, she's not even here. So
Okay.
this might. She's out of town, but she might be watching. Hey, babe, how you doing? But no, I am. I am. And matter of fact, what I'll do is I might even do a little small video do a reel on and
Yeah.
post it
Do a
on
reel of that.
do a reel on and post it on Facebook. But anyway, okay. No, and then the last comment about your YouTube channel. I love the way you set up your thumbnails, and so really really
Thank you.
creative, and it kind of draws you in to the exercises that are going to be. I don't want to say performed or exercises that are going to be used
Practice. Practice.
practiced
Uh-huh.
during the
Hmm.
yoga session. So yeah, just a shout out to you. Definitely
Ah, thank you.
your Canva skills are up there because you're using Canva, correct?
That's right. That's the way to
Absolutely,
go. Canva. I'm
absolutely.
all about that Canva life.
Canva life is super super sweet. All right, so we can go down the content creator rabbit hole all night, but I'm sure folks who are watching
Yes.
probably don't want to hear about the content creation aspect. They want to know more about how and why and what you're doing to pivot. So let's kind of talk about this life change, if you will, and then there's some other topics we'll kind of wrap up with later on in terms of mental
Sure.
health, self-care. We kind of touched on that a little bit, but yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's kind of talk about the pivot. What are you up to now? You're kind of moving away from the YouTube and the yoga. What are you up to now, Kali?
I feel a little nervousness in my belly because this is my first time talking publicly about it.
Okay.
It's been under wraps for several months now.
Hey,
I
Callie,
do.
check this out. I'm gonna give you the full screen so that you can shout it out to the world.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Well, I have been. I knew that this time was coming. I didn't know how it was going to come about. So, what is this time that I'm talking about? So, I'm making a career pivot, a midlife career pivot. As I mentioned to you, my youngest, my daughter, is graduating from high school, and I knew that this would now be a time for me to develop a career path for myself. I had always been interested in computers and in technology. And, at my alma mater, took a computer science class, and I took the class, and it was a actually, it was a beginning intro to computer programming class. We probably used Cobalt or something. And I was completely discouraged by it. He wanted us to create this baseball program. And if you know me, I'm all about that basketball life. I know that there's home runs,
Sure.
but there's all of these other statistics that I needed to be able to get this computer to duplicate, this program to duplicate. And I was just like, now I have to learn this language, and now I have to learn baseball, and I have to learn this within 9 weeks. And I just got completely discouraged, and I kind of like checked out of the class, and I never looked back until now. So
Okay.
now I said, okay, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to repair that. I'm going to heal that wound. And no other time, no better time than now when tech is such a huge field to go into. So I was looking for like which path, which route, how I'm going to do this. I was talking to my sister. My sister was like, yo, we're about to do this implementation of this platform called ServiceNow. Because of the way your mind works, I think you'll love it. They were doing a course where you could take the course for free, take the voucher for free to get this baseline kind of a credential. If you go to Now Learning www.servicenow.com. You can learn more about it. So I did the system administrator course, the fundamentals course, took the exam, became a certified system administrator, and I love it. It's given me a framework to look at the world, not just enterprise, not just business, but a framework to look at the world. ServiceNow is an enterprise management system. So behind the scenes of your favorite experiences, whether they be the favorite store you shop at, an application that you perhaps use, um, maybe an organization that you belong to, maybe like your school system. There are, when they run efficiently, it's because there's behind the scenes all of these process automations or workflows that are taking place to help you have a superior experience. So take Costco, for example. The reason why people enjoy their experience at Costco, even though it's in a warehouse, even though there's a lot of folks there and it's crowded, there's a level of consistency and ease and digitization that takes place in the background that makes your experience at Costco be what it is.
Got you.
And they actually use ServiceNow.
Okay.
So that is the ecosystem that I'm in. A lot of times businesses waste a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of money because they're doing these mundane tasks over and over and over again when those resources can be allocated elsewhere. So that's where ServiceNow steps in and creates these automations for things to go. So I can talk about this on and on and on because I love it so much. I feel like I have found my thing. And I'm
Listen,
glad that you brought up the nowlearning.com because if people want more information about it, if they're looking for a career pivot, if they are a young person looking to, kind of create their own path, this is the place to go. 80% of Fortune 100 companies is what I believe that's what I read recently. 80% of Fortune 100, not 500, but the top 100 Fortune companies use ServiceNow, So it's something you definitely want to take a look at. There's an initiative that's taking the initiative that the CEO, Bill McDermott, has put forth that he wants to train 1 million people on the platform by the year 2024. So in about a year, expected to be like 1 million people on this platform. So this is a really great avenue for people to take a look at. If I had to do it over, and I'm just getting started, so I have time to kind of make sure that I get this solid, I
mhm,
would learn scripting, JavaScript right now.
got you.
Even if I didn't plan on going into service now, and you can even do this with young folks out there, and this is what I have my daughter doing. There's a website called freecodecamp.org. Sorry to throw that on you, Mr. Riley. We didn't
Oh
talk
no,
about this earlier. It's called
it's all good
freecodecamp.org.
because we can just pull it up on the whim. Free
There we go. Free Code Camp.
code.
You can learn JavaScript, you can learn Python, you can learn HTML, CSS, you can learn all these various languages completely for free 99.
Got
Completely
you.
free, right? So the way that it's set up now, you can create an account for free. What I have my daughter doing is that I have her commit to doing 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day doesn't seem like much. Now, the reason why it's only 10 minutes a day, at least that's what I have carved out for her, is because I'm hoping that 10 minutes a day psychologically, being this is me using my teacher mind, psychologically, 10 minutes doesn't seem like long, right? So she can do that on the way home from school, right in her laptop, right in her tablet, do 10 minutes a day. But hopefully, if she likes it, that 10 minutes can turn into 20 minutes, it can turn into an hour, it can turn into a lucrative career path, right? So I have her learning JavaScript. My son is learning Python. Like there is so much that is available for free. If
Got
you
you.
follow me on LinkedIn, I'm doing a challenge for myself called 100 Days of Service Now. I think I'm only on day 6 right now,
Sure.
but the response that I'm getting from that has been amazing. I've met so many incredible people who are in the ecosystem. Service Now has only been around for about 15 years.
Okay.
I've met so many amazing people in the ecosystem. Uh, People who are presidents of companies, C-suite people, presidents of companies, people have been in the industry for like 5 years, developers, some incredible developers. Just, it's been an incredible ride for me thus far. And I think in creating those videos, and we can talk about content creation on LinkedIn some other time, unless you want to go into it
No,
now.
no.
But
I mean, when you finish your statement, I want to kind of break what you've already said because you said a lot, and I just kind of want to break
I know,
some
let
of
me
that
stop
down.
because you know how I can go,
I
Riley.
know how you can go. Okay, so ServiceNow is something where if you know what, because you're the professional, I want you to just kind of break down service now in terms of, if I were to call in to a company, how does service now help the consumer or help the company? Um, yeah, kind of help the company.
Sure. So let me give you an example of how, since we talked about Costco, or you can think of your favorite store. We can just use that as an example. So, say for example, you call company X and you want to get information about your warranty or something. Your
Not,
mouse is no longer
hey,
working.
listen, not the warranty people, not those people. We don't want them.
The warranty.
Yeah,
um, and so And can you imagine that? You said it. You said not the warranty people. And I believe you said that because you are familiar with having to deal with the warranty people, right?
yes, yes,
Well, can you imagine someone taking a phone call, taking phone call after phone call, physical live person taking phone call after phone call about a warranty on a mouse,
sure,
on, your trackpad, right? Well, wouldn't those resources be better served doing something else? So since we know that people are going to call about warranties, since company X knows that this is something that happens all the time, why not automate that? Why not have an automation set up where that customer can put in their warranty number, where on the back end that can go into that can query a database that says, oh, this warranty belongs is associated with this device, was and was purchased on this date and belongs to this person, and they can give that person all the information they need. If they need to send back the device, that virtual agent, as we would call it, will tell that person, yes, you're still under warranty, and this is what you would do next, and then really lay that out instead of having people actually telling people over and over and over again. So you can digitize all of that, and
got you,
those resources, those agents can be put on to do something else. Now, people would say, well, wait a minute, that sounds like you're eliminating jobs. No, we're not talking about eliminating jobs. We're talking about taking those people and putting them into more skilled positions, right? Because with service now growing, then now we're talking about reskilling people. And we're talking about reskilling them at a very low cost to the organization. So that's the way you might interact with it. And you probably have interacted with ServiceNow and didn't know it. And you
got you,
know that ServiceNow is working well because you should know that ServiceNow is there. You should just
got
know
you.
that you had a superior customer experience or superior end user experience. It can even help to run, say, you work for LAUSD. LAUSD may adopt ServiceNow to handle all of their HR stuff. Whether it's onboarding, retirement, all those things can be handled through ServiceNow, through what we would call a service portal, so that you can have a streamlined experience instead of having to, how many times have you had to, I felt like I've had to take off, like half of a day to handle my HR issue or to
Hmm.
handle, my whatever it issue. I shouldn't have to take time off to be able to handle these things that happen over and over and over again. So you digitize that, you automate that,
Got you.
right?
So then, if I'm kind of vibing with you, you're part of the back end where you're either creating, automations, using technology. You
Mhm.
mentioned several different softwares like, did you say Path? Um, what was the P word that you said?
I
Pathia?
mentioned I mentioned Python. Now,
Python.
Python
There
is
we
not
go.
related
Okay.
to ServiceNow.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
that's a programming language. Um,
Sure.
a
So no,
lot of
no.
the
So no, I'm just saying,
JavaScript is what I meant.
yeah. So JavaScript and Python are two ways that they can learn how to code, so that instead of getting a real person in the, as soon as you call in, you have a series of uh, button pushing, go to, this prompt, and then basically it's going to onboard you to the correct department, so that you just don't, get Sally soon like, hey, how can I help you? No, once you put in a couple of series warranty numbers or whatever, it's going to direct where the call should, actually end up, right?
That's pretty much it. But you can eliminate JavaScript and Python from all of that because a lot of this stuff comes, what we would say, out the box with ServiceNow,
Got you.
where you wouldn't need to know it. You wouldn't need to have any particular programming take place. However, if you want some things to be more customized, then you would use JavaScript. That's the language that ServiceNow uses.
Got you. And because we're in a technology age, having your daughter practice, just it's just like the reels, right? I mean, at first, no, I was like, oh, reels, what is a reel? But now you see the reels on Instagram, you see them on Facebook. I mean, they're all over the
Yeah.
place, right? And so people can just sit there and scroll, 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 right? And so to your point about having your daughter look at it for 10 minutes, just kind of, you're trying to build up that capacity so that way I was like, okay, well, maybe instead of being a consumer, right, maybe I can be a producer, a creator, and make and earn a nice living working that in instead of just swiping up and down, swipe left, swipe right, put in a couple of comments. She's actually being a producer instead of a consumer.
Yeah. I love the way that you explain that because the way that the tech industry is set up now is that you don't necessarily have to go to college to enter the tech industry, right? So
Absolutely.
if you have free code camp, and if you kind of dig into free code camp a little bit more, you'll see that they are actually creating a free degree program in computer science.
Wow.
Um, so they're flipping the game on how we can start to enter the tech industry, right? So, same thing with ServiceNow. You don't need a degree in any particular field to go into the ServiceNow ecosystem. It doesn't mean that you're not skilled, because you will need to know a skill set. There are tons of courses on nowlearning.servicenow.com and free micro certifications. There are periods where they offer free certifications in some of the mainline stuff like system administrator. There's lots of opportunities to get your skills up. I think what's happening now that we're seeing, be it ServiceNow or some other platform, is that colleges in some ways are becoming a bit obsolete
Yeah.
because you can learn or you can get a skill set that is completely outside of college. There are some, when I look at the applications for some of the positions that are available right now, they could really care less about whether or not you have a degree. I've even seen some applications ask, "What boot camps have you attended?
Wow.
What boot camp did you attend?" And I'm like, "Wow, this is totally a game changer." So like with my son and him learning Python, no one's asking him like what college he graduated from. They want to know, "Do you know this language?"
Sure,
Right?
sure. Let me stop you right there. We got a couple of comments. Just kind of want to circle back and make sure, we have other people, in the conversation. So Tanya V says, "It's so brave to change careers after so much time, but if anyone can do it, Kali, Kali is honestly the one to watch and learn from." So thank you for that, uh,
Oh,
Toya V,
thank you, Tanya B.
Tanya V, and then
Yeah.
Kevin Cox says, "Hello all. What up, Kevin? Up
What to do,
there."
Kevin Cox?
Up there up in the Bay, in the Yay area. Art Cummings says, "We use ServiceNow at my company for support ticketing," and he also says it's very customizable. So this is definitely a way that folks, businesses, major corporations are moving, because they want to streamline the process. And so by you
Yeah.
taking a step and say, hey, I want to do something a little bit different. It is very brave, like Tanya said. It's very brave, and it's brave for you to do that. Be like, look, you know, I'm kind of worried about the paper, but I'm not gonna make the paper if I don't make the step, in the way that I need to step. And so
Yeah.
it's very,
It's an
very cool.
exciting time. It's
Absolutely,
really an
absolutely.
exciting time.
Now let me ask
The
you. Go
mhm,
ahead.
please.
No, I was just going to
Nope.
ask you because you you talked about some of the courses, right? What has been one of your favorite courses, or something that you've taken away from one of the courses that you've taken so far?
What I'm learning right now is JavaScript.
Okay,
And the reason why I'm learning JavaScript, and this is what I would have done if I had known beforehand, I would have learned JavaScript first before going into ServiceNow.
gotcha.
Because, first of all, if you know JavaScript, it's going to increase your earning potential. One. Secondly, when you know JavaScript, it's going to allow you to unleash greater functionality with what the platform can do. So that's why I'm really excited about it. And plus, it I loved math when I was in school, so this is allowing me to get back into my math bag. So that's what I'm really enjoying learning. I'm also enjoying working with one of the functionalities called Flow Designer. That's something that I really like because you can create all of these different automations based on these what we call workflows.
Sure.
So that's something that I'm really enjoying. If you go to if folks are on LinkedIn, I'm doing a challenge for myself called 100 Days of Service Now. You can find me on LinkedIn if you search for Kali Alexander. If you type in Kali Alexander and Service Now, you can find me there.
I got you right here.
But
You know I
yes.
got you.
And so what I'm doing with the 100 Days of Service Now is that I'm examining all of or several 100 different areas of service now, and what I'm playing with right now is because we've had a little bit of a shakeup in the tech industry about these tech boot camps. And in all honesty, you can actually get into tech without attending a boot camp.
Sure.
And so I have a series called Hack Colleagues Boot Camp. It's a hashtag Hack Colleagues Boot Camp, where I'm telling people and showing people how to create your boot camp, giving step-by-step instructions on how you do that, how to search for courses, how to create your curriculum, how to build a syllabus, how to find resources, all of this stuff for free. And I'm excited about it now because I do believe this is my uh, prediction that I believe that at some point there will be a charge for these courses that people are able to take for free. But right now you can take all of these courses for free and really get yourself into a really nice career and making a good income.
Yeah, no, I mean, you talking about free 99, going back to the coding, going back to this, you might as well take advantage of it because, with many of the apps that we use, right? Started using before they got big, they would be free. Everything was free. And so it's
Yeah,
like a couple of years later, I've, gone back and tried to, I've had the app on one phone and I tried to, if I got a newer device, I'm trying to, add the same app. And now they're asking me for a monthly fee. I'm like, wait a minute. A couple of years ago,
right?
buddy, you free. Now you asking me for like a monthly subscription. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll find something else to use. But no, that's a good thing. Take advantage of it while it's hot, while it's free, because who knows what
Absolutely.
those courses are gonna, what they're gonna charge for those courses. And then right now, I just have playing in the background just one of your videos from LinkedIn, and so it looks really really nice. Now, did you self produce all of these videos, Kylie?
Yeah, you know how we do it. So you know how we do it. So these are completely self-produced, and I do them live. And the beauty of live streaming is that an hour live streaming takes an hour to do, right? So
Yes.
there's no post-production involved. Obviously, you do your pre-production, you set the scenes up, and if people are not familiar, the scenes being like, yeah, you see, my image in that little circle and James's image in that little circle and
Yes.
and all of that. James took the time to do that in pre-production to set up what we call scenes. So I do all of that in Ecamm, and that allows me to just having being nimble with it. I can go in there and pull different things up and explain what I'm doing. And I love the live format. I love being and I also am appreciative that LinkedIn allows that functionality for creators to go in there. So if
Sure.
people turn on creator mode in LinkedIn, they're able to produce live as well as upload native videos to LinkedIn instead of just leaving links to, TikTok or YouTube or wherever else.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, and then let's kind of talk about just your interaction because I believe a couple of days ago I believe I saw a couple of um, requests for you on Facebook in one of our groups that we're in. Just asking if anyone had any expertise in going live in
Yes.
LinkedIn or posting in. So just kind of tell us, for the content for the creative side, what is the process for going live in LinkedIn? I know there's a couple of guys that always pop up on my feed. I think his name is Gabe. He has a show called Gabe
Gabe.
Unfiltered, right? And so I'm just like, okay, he's going live just about every day. A brother like me, if I wanted to go live and take this West Coast Wednesday into LinkedIn, um, you know, what is that process like? Is it really easy? Do I have to, apply for a certain, permission. Just kind of walk
Yeah.
us through that whole process.
Yeah. So I believe that there's a minimum threshold that you have to have, like maybe like 100 followers or 100 connections or something like that, very small, to be able to turn on what they call creator mode in LinkedIn. When you turn on creator mode, you're able to do both live streaming as well as post native videos to your LinkedIn profile. Now, the reason why I think that's really cool, though you can post links to YouTube or TikTok, LinkedIn doesn't want you to leave their platform, just like
Got you.
YouTube doesn't want you to leave their platform, right? You can post links to other things, but they really don't want you to do that. So, what ends up happening with the way the algorithm is constructed, when you post native videos or go live on LinkedIn, those videos and that content is going to be pushed up and pushed out to the atmosphere. It's going to be pushed out both to your connections, to your followers, as well as your followers. So if you go to LinkedIn and you type in someone's name, and it might be like a number next to it, it might be like, if Tanya V, for example, she and I are connected on LinkedIn, so she's going to have like first. So that means that that's like a first level connection. So you think of like degrees of separation. So someone that might be a two, it may not. That would suggest that maybe they're not a direct connection, but maybe they're a connection of a connection. So when I post something that's live or native to LinkedIn, not only is Tanya going to see it, but also someone that she's also affiliated with, right? And that's what I want to happen, because I'm looking to break into the ecosystem. Tanya's already in the ecosystem. So if I can get my video not just in front of her, but in front of her connections as well,
Sure.
that's going to pick up a lot more momentum. That's going to build up the people, that's going to build up the audience and my reach, the impressions, and on and on and on. But if I post a YouTube video, Tanya's going to see it and maybe some of her connections, but maybe not. LinkedIn's not vested in people seeing that stuff. So
Right.
I say, so your question was, here I am, James, I can go. I can
Yeah.
talk.
No, no, no. You're good.
Your
You're good.
question
You're
was,
good. So, so,
okay,
so, step one for me would be to check my connections, check my, because I'm actually in LinkedIn right now, and
let's turn on your creator mode.
okay. So, let me see how we. So, how would I go about? So here I am. You're gonna help me turn on, if you can remember, creator mode. If I don't even know if I have it, in my profile, but let's see what we can do. Okay.
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
Let's try to break it real quick, okay? Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
here I am, and let me see if I can zoom in just a tad, make it a little bit larger for those of us who have who wear eye eyeglasses. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Spectacles.
Yeah, spectacles. I'm
Look,
leave it at that. Okay. So here we are. Here's my home, right? And there's my guy Chris. What's up, Chris? So here are some of the people that I follow. I guess some of my connections. I have to get into the LinkedIn lingo, right?
there
So
is definitely
people
a
I follow,
LinkedIn lingo.
connections. Okay, so where would I go to access creator mode?
That's a really good question. So I've only done it once, because once it's on, it's on. But let's take a look at the left-hand column where you see your profile picture and you see your
Okay,
name.
yes, I see. It says me, so I'm gonna click on
Yeah,
my.
come over here to, yes, that left-hand
Okay,
column.
okay.
And let's scroll down a little bit. We see
It
groups, events. What's underneath events?
says followed hashtags and discover more.
Scroll up a little bit, because my camera is covering it.
Oh no, that's it. That's all it. Here, do you know what? Hold on. So you're talking about the beauty of the streaming software. What I'm going to do, Kali, is you're the guest, and we're just gonna minimize your.
Oh, there we go.
There we
Okay,
go.
discover more. Followed hashtags, events, my items. Okay, so now let's go up to the header at the
Okay.
very top where you
Yeah.
see your picture and it says me.
Yes. Okay. Let's
Let's
click
click
on it.
on that. Where does that take us?
Alrighty. So we have a
Okay,
couple of
view
things. It says
profile.
um, try premium for free settings and privacy. Is probably going to be right there. But you
It
tell me.
probably will, but you definitely want to go to view profile though. You want to be in your profile, because
Okay.
if I
There
recall
we go.
correctly, you have
Okay.
to access it from your profile.
Okay.
Wonderful. Here we go.
All right.
Add profile section. Let's improve access to opportunity. Scroll down some.
Okay.
Analytics.
Ah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
there
here
we
comes
go.
the juicy stuff. Creator mode, boom, there we go. You got to get that to turn on. I see that. How do we do that?
So grow your audience, blah 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 blah. Okay, okay. So I'm not too sure if we have to, have time to do it right now.
No,
Uh,
no, yes, we do. You see that
oh, we.
turn on button
Oh,
bottom
turn
right?
on. Okay, we're gonna turn them on. All right, let's see. Okay. So it
Just like
says
that.
just like that. So
Just like that.
are you telling me my next my next West Coast Wednesday I can go live in LinkedIn?
You can simulcast YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever else you want
Man,
this thing to go.
man. Okay,
Watch out, y'all.
let's man, we gonna bring this up. Okay, okay. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go ahead and deal with this a little bit later after the show, right? But okay,
Okay.
that was one of the things that we kind of wanted, to have you kind of walk me through, and now I think I can, walk other folks through if that question ever comes up. Just how do you turn on that creative mode? So I appreciate you, Kylie.
Yeah, no, my
Man,
pleasure.
I'm gonna be going live in LinkedIn, and it's gonna be on.
Yes,
Coming to you live from the
yes,
West Coast to Best Coast. Hey, LinkedIn audience, what's going on? This is Mr. Riley from Mr. Riley's World. Man, listen,
yes.
we're gonna have
That's
some
where I
fun.
live right now. That is where I live. I don't do any other social media other than LinkedIn. That's
Got you,
it for me. That's where I really enjoy LinkedIn. And the another thing about LinkedIn, which is really cool, is that my sense is that the connections are more authentic.
sure.
I feel like you know that when someone's connecting with you, you know that they're connecting with you professionally. You don't have to kind of think about like, what does this person want, or why you bothering me, or like, why don't you have a profile picture, and like, yeah, or this is spam. You feel like those is a it's more intentional. The curation is better. I
Yes,
really appreciate the things that are on my feed. I know that they're related to my interests, they're related to my profession, my goals, my ambitions. I really, really enjoy LinkedIn. I think that it's a treasure trove of opportunity,
got you. And you know what?
especially
I
for
mean,
content creators.
content creators, and then for special ed teachers like myself, I think it'll be and yeah, I think it'll be beneficial just to kind of exchange ideas if they're posting ideas on their pages about how they kind of reach out to their
Yes.
parents, if they have workshops for their parents, and also how they kind of work with their students in the classroom. And like I said earlier, I am an early childhood educator, and my students are on the autism spectrums, and so I can kind of look for some resources, gain some more information about how I can become a better early childhood special educator. So, I'll have to have some fun going through going through these LinkedIn pages and trying to
You are going
make
to
my
have so much
connections.
fun.
Absolutely.
You're going to have so much fun. You can set up events through LinkedIn. You can set up a newsletter. So say for example, because you've been teaching for years, and I bet you
Yeah.
have lots of information and lots of learnings to teach people who are just now entering into education. So
Got you.
imagine if you took that and you created a weekly newsletter or a monthly newsletter. When people connect with you or they follow you, you can set up an automation for people to be prompted to subscribe to your periodic newsletter as well.
Absolutely.
And I've gotten and when people and here's the thing when I connect with someone and I get that bump to say, or that notification to say, hey, subscribe to Naya's newsletter, because I want to connect with Naya, I want to hear what's in her newsletter, right? You
Right.
don't feel like it's spam because you're connecting with this person, you want to learn from this person. I think it's a great platform.
Yeah. Naya says, "Please call me Naya." So
Okay,
that's pretty
thank you,
dope.
Naya. Okay, Naya.
Absolutely. So that's no, that's real cool. And you kind of talked about how you find more benefit in using Facebook or YouTube, to make these connections, because this is a more personal profile, and so you're trying to make those connections. Trying to develop your brand, if you will, your knowledge, and so if you want folks to follow you, if you want folks to pick up what you're dropping, all that knowledge, then LinkedIn is probably a good place to connect with other folks who are like-minded.
LinkedIn's the place to be. I mean, Naya is like my sister from another mister. I met her on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I met her on LinkedIn. She just dropped into my DMs, and I've been attached to her virtual hip ever since.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. No, I'm gonna definitely hop in and play around and get a little bit more involved. I think at one time I had two LinkedIn accounts and I had to get rid of one because one I just created just to create and I didn't really, it was a new thing. You know what I mean? I mean, you,
Yeah.
you see all these apps popping up. It's like, oh, let me go ahead. This is the craze, LinkedIn. And I'm just like, I ain't never really used LinkedIn, but now I see a lot more people kind of, for their professional lives, they're doing a little bit more interaction on LinkedIn than they were, on
Yeah.
Facebook or YouTube or whatever. So, no, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So,
I
no,
can't wait to hear about your journey.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting just to kind of, reach out and figure it all out. So, I'm looking forward to the challenge of what LinkedIn has to offer now that I'm a LinkedIn creator. That's pretty cool. So I appreciate you for helping me become a LinkedIn creator.
Absolutely. And you be sure you send me a connection request too.
Wait, wait. Okay, so let me ask you because I think we're already aren't we already connected? Let me go back to you. Let me see. Okay,
Are
Kylie.
we?
Oh, you know what? It says follow. Duh. So let me hit follow. Okay, now we're connected. Okay, now we're good.
Now here's a small thing because I don't want to get too much into the weeds of this, but I'll share this one thing.
Sure.
You can follow someone and you can connect with someone.
Got you. Okay.
Connecting with someone is a closer association or a closer affiliation.
Okay.
Following someone allows, it's like a one-way communication. Like when you follow someone, when I follow someone, I'll hear about that person, but they won't hear about me. When you connect with someone, it's a two-way communication, right?
Got
Now,
you.
if you have creator mode on, what ends up happening is that LinkedIn will change the the first the initial prompt, the most obvious prompt to be to follow as opposed to connect. Does that make sense?
It
When you're a
does.
creator, they want people to follow you as opposed to connect with you, but you still can. So you just got it's a couple clicks away, is my point.
Got you. Got you. No, that makes sense. That makes sense because again, I'm a newbie. I've had it, but I really haven't delved into it. And so you just kind of educated me in terms of the difference between the connections and following. And so and like I said, once I kind of delve in and play around with it a little bit more and have a little bit more intentionality, then I'll understand the inner workings of LinkedIn. But you kind of
Yes,
got me on that course, and I'm indebted to you, so I really really appreciate it. So I have
indeed.
followed you, and then I'm going to add you as a connection as well. So is that
There
that
we
how it's
go.
done?
That's how it's done. You
Okay.
speaking that lingo.
Okay. And then Naya, I don't know what you do, but maybe I can follow you and connect you, and we can follow each other. I don't know. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be up all night just follow. But like, ooh, maybe make a connection here. We about to have some
Naya
fun.
Naya is a ServiceNow sage.
Got you.
So
Okay.
she yes,
So
she's been in
explain.
ServiceNow for a long time.
Okay, for a long time. Okay, so what level? Going back to just circling back to service now. So what level are you right now? Are there different tiers in service now? Because you just mentioned that. I don't know if that's like a known tier being a sage, or if that's just
No,
something that you
that's
refer
my
to.
own language. That's
Got you.
that's
Okay,
my own language.
got you.
She's been in ServiceNow. I think Naya, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe 10 years. ServiceNow has been around for 15 years.
Got you.
So
So then,
I'm just now
so
breaking
then
into it.
so then you could use her as a mentor to kind of understand the inner workings of ServiceNow.
Absolutely, which is why, so this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly the reason why I think ServiceNow is such a phenomenal platform. I could have been screaming ServiceNow at the top of my Facebook mountain,
Sure.
and nobody would have cared or heard me.
Right.
But if I go into LinkedIn and I mention ServiceNow or I do a 5-minute video about ServiceNow, all the ServiceNow people are more likely to see that,
Right.
right? And that's exactly what I did. And that's how I found, or how Naya found me, right? So can you imagine that you're someone just breaking into this industry or trying to get into this industry, and you say, "Oh, I'm trying to get into this industry, but I don't know where to go, but I'm going to just say it out loud to see what happens." And then you have all of these people who are like at the top of their game saying, "Hey, I'm here. What do you need? How can I help you?" And Naya, that's how I found her. She was like, "Look, I saw you do this video and I see that this is what's going on with you and I'm here to help you. What do you need?" That's exactly what happened.
Got you. Got you.
And I've
Let me
talked to her probably every day since then.
got you. Let me pause right there, Kali. Uh, Naya just says Kali is a great one to learn from where LinkedIn is concerned. Absolutely. And then she says further, she definitely understood the assignment there. And yes, she's definitely my sister from another mister. Um, and then SN, around since
Service now.
1998. Share now, yes.
Hmm.
Um, but was named something else at the time. So okay, cool, cool,
Ah,
cool, cool, cool.
okay.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. No,
There's some service now history right there.
man, ServiceNow historian.
Yes, I told you she was a sage. I told
Hey,
you.
absolutely, absolutely. Now this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. There's a couple of more things that I want to kind of touch on, and I was actually, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'll just gonna try to see if we were actually live in Facebook because I see all of the comments coming um, from YouTube, which is fine. I appreciate you guys watching over here um, on YouTube. Let me see. Let me just double check one thing just to see if we are live in my own group. Okay, we are. All right, cool. All right, guys. So no, congratulations again, Kylie, on ServiceNow and just kind of learning, pivoting as you said earlier, your life, and so that you can kind of help other people. You're connected with LinkedIn, you're connected with ServiceNow, and you're doing something that's beneficial and that most importantly that you enjoy doing.
Yes, yes, and that's so important.
Yeah. Now, so many people are, um, doing some of the things that they might seem happy, but ultimately, they might not. And you have to take care of home first. Right, you have to take care of yourself. Home
Yeah.
meaning the physical home. The people who you're responsible for. They look up to you. They count on you, right? And so your daughter, she's counting on you to do what you need to do, and you're doing what you can do to provide for her a nice, welcoming home. And so we have to do that. We have to think about home, and then to go a little bit deeper, we have to kind of take care of ourselves, right? And
Yeah,
so
indeed.
you kind of touch on that a little bit with the yoga. It's pleasurable. You do a lot of running, a lot of exercising. So we have to take care of ourselves first, because if we're not good for ourselves, then how can we be good for other people?
Ain't that the truth though? That is so true. Like, you see me because I literally run past James's house on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm with a group called Black Girls Run, and I could have the weight of the world on my shoulders. And after a 5-mile run or a 20-mile ride on my bike, some time on my yoga mat, I seem to have the solution that I've been craving. So not only is it nurturing for my physical body, but it's incredibly beneficial for my emotional and spiritual well-being as well. I was I I cannot tell you how many times I have felt overwhelmed by various situations in life, and just being able to get out, especially getting out in nature and running, getting out and just moving, even if it's, I have a rower at home as well, but even if I'm just rowing at home, those things make a world of difference. There's an entire hormonal cascade that takes place when you're moving your body in these ways. And I think, especially during this time of year, I think there is a veneer of cheer and joy and, peace on earth. But a lot of people are suffering right now. And I think that when we are attentive to this is if we're attentive to taking care of ourselves, we're really doing ourselves a whole lot of good. And yeah, this is just super important. For mental and emotional well being as well,
Yeah,
emotional spiritual well being.
Absolutely, and we kind of talked about this in the pre. I was about to say pregame, the pre-show, Kevin. Just how you have to take care of yourself because, if you don't, if you're not taking care of yourself, then what good are you? But also, we have to make sure that we got to check on our friends, and so, we kind of talked about earlier before we went live about Twitch and just how devastating, that was. I'm sure to those who knew him, who knew him well. I didn't know him, but just I know the impact that he had on the Ellen show. Just a tremendous loss, right? And so what all that glitters might not be gold, and so we have to make sure that
Yeah.
we have the folks who are going to check in on us. And we have to feel comfortable with sharing some of our thoughts so that we're not keeping things to ourselves.
Yeah. That is so true. We there I one of the things that have noticed when in terms of like language, instead of saying this person committed suicide, I'm seeing a shift in the language saying this person died by suicide, lost his life to suicide. And I think that these are important shifts in language because it helps us to understand or to have a better understanding that there's an inner turmoil that's taking place when someone loses their life to suicide. People say, well, how can this person do this when they had this going on? Well, there's a disconnect there,
Yeah.
obviously. And I think that we don't often recognize this. You also mentioned about the importance of having a support system and being able to talk to people. And I think that when you do this platform right here, James, that you're probably helping people in ways you cannot even imagine just by having the space to be able to talk in these West Coast Wednesdays. I know I look forward to them, and they add tremendous value to my life. Hearing you talking to, that math expert, to hearing you talk to Claudine and, your boy who is also into football, all of those things I feel in community with you all, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that helps me to also share that with someone else. And so there's a domino effect that takes place because of the work that you're doing here. So I don't take it lightly, and I appreciate you for it.
Thank you, Kylie. I
Yeah.
appreciate you as well. And just kind of touching on this, Kevin just dropped in the chat. Everyone that was connected to him had nothing but positive things to say. So difficult for so many to process at this time. And I even now I don't know how true it was, but there was a reel on Facebook that just showed how I guess he had posted a dance,
Mm.
24 hours, before dying, right? And so, again, we got to have those conversations, check in on our friends, and we
And
just got to
check in
make
on your
sure.
strong friend. Check in on the
Yeah,
strong, the one that
absolutely.
seems like they have it all together.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. No, it's a devastating loss, and we have to do better.
Yeah.
I, you know, it's almost like you're going to cause more damage, I guess, by doing something like that instead of dealing with it, right? Because you got to think about the wife and the kid and just friends and family. So it's a big loss, right? And so we just have to make sure we stay
Yeah.
connected to those, especially those who we hold in high esteem, ministers, business owners,
Yeah.
community leaders, because behind closed doors, they're going through it as well.
Yeah.
So, actors, sports people, you know, um, we just have to be connected and be willing to share. And sometimes all we have to do is just listen. We might not be able to um, offer a solution, but if we're just
Hmm.
listening, that's golden as well.
Listening is so golden. And when I think about Twitch, and it's similar to you, I didn't know him, but I was fully aware of his impact. I think about a really good friend that lost his life to suicide, and thinking about how he was such a light. And I
Hmm.
have combed many times, incessantly, some of our last conversations, trying to figure out, tease out, like, was there something I missed? Was it
Right.
something that I didn't understand in what he was trying to communicate to me? And realizing that maybe it just wasn't there. And I think what ends up happening, just like with my friend Joshua, and it seems like with DJ Twitch, is that perhaps, and I don't have any answers, these are just things that I'm just kind of thinking about and having thought about this for a long time, having lost my friend, that maybe they did not feel that there was any room for them to be anything less than perfect or to present anything less than happy or less than having it all together. Because when you hear people talk about Twitch, they're saying like, how, why? He
Yeah.
had a
Yeah.
wife, he had children,
Yeah.
everything seemed to be perfect. He always had a smile on his face or whatever it was. Same thing with my friend. There was always this, there was always that. There was no trace of any type of, inner turmoil. It wouldn't be, because that's the nature of inner turmoil, that it's something that's private and held within. But you know that there's a conflict because of what you feel your outward presentation has to be something that fits into a particular mode. And so and create in which thinking about what you said about holding space for people to talk is also holding space for people to be imperfect, to be their true selves, because we're never the same way all the time. But just holding space for people to be who they are without any type of judgment can make a world of difference in someone's life, literally.
Yeah. Absolutely. Kevin
Same thing
just
about Robin Williams. Excuse
Yeah,
me, go ahead.
yeah. No, you good. Kevin just dropped in the chat. He's like, many have said the same thing about Robin Williams, who he was as an actor and as an individual out in public, was a very different person in his home. So yeah, I mean, we just have to be, just be aware and yeah, just you just kind of have to be, because ultimately, his family and friends are going to be left holding the pieces to to the death, right? So and to circle back when you talked about language, committed suicide or die by suicide. In our, teachers have to, do all these trainings at the beginning of the year, and suicide prevention is one of those things. And don't let me forget, I do have a suicide prevention number that we can share as well, just in case,
Yes.
someone who's watching. But the language, going back to that point about the language is changing because, we do want to refer to them as died by suicide, and so that they made a point of saying that, that way in our training. And so, just
Mm,
having to be aware of, no, it's not committed suicide, it's died by suicide. So
right.
yeah. And then we did have, for those of, we just have a number. If you know of someone who's going through something, and I did have it. Where did I? Here it is, right here. So I know here in California, it's 988. You probably can't see it, but 988 is a suicide prevention hotline, and so you would just dial that, and it says available 24 hours. Languages: English, Spanish. Oh, okay. It took me a whole oh, but basically, the point is to get help. And there's, the good thing about it, Google provides numbers in just about any country right here, so it's all good. Now, I'm having to reset my camera. I don't know if it's not acting nice tonight, but it is what it is. But yeah, so here, if you go to and just Google suicide prevention, you'll have the local number for your area, and for us, it's 988. So just wanted to share that information, just so we'll know how to handle if we ever, are in this particular situation. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
Oh no, I had to, because it goes back to being able to take care of our family, of ourselves, and if you're not well, then you definitely can't be well for other people who depend on you. Kevin says, 988 works for the entire U.S. and U.S. territories. That's what's up. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that, my man. So yeah, so let's we're kind of wrapping up. We're about a hour and 15 minutes, almost an hour and 15 minutes in, man. Let's kind of talk about and dial down what is next for Kylie Sampson Alexander. We know we're talking about service now. You got your daughter graduating, which is a wonderful time in her life because now she's going to be out, be a young woman to, kind of figure out life right out on her own,
Yeah.
and with the support of her family and friends, especially you. So what's next for you?
So what's next for me is that I'm really excited to land my first role in the ecosystem. And if you're still doing, if you're going to do the next season of West Coast Wednesday, I really want to come back and let you know what has taken place between now and then. So I'm looking to land my first role in service now. Um, I'll be continuing my 100 days of service now, and that's really not only is it helping me to continue to learn because I learn and then I immediately teach, but it's also a bit of an experiment, if I be honest with you, because the experiment that I have set up in my mind, and I'll share it with you all, is that I'm going to use this experimentation of using creator mode in LinkedIn to see how that's able to be a key tool in helping to leverage leverage digital content creation in finding a new job. So we'll see how this whole thing works. I know I'll have something to report back to you soon. Baby girl's about to graduate. We just came back from Atlanta visiting colleges. So that was a really good time. And so, this is onto, the next quarter, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Absolutely. No, it's a wonderful time. I also have a senior who's graduating, and so he
Wow.
just wrapped up his senior football season. So now we're on to track, and so he hopes and he hopes to land a scholarship to play football somewhere. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I think if that isn't the case, he has a plan B, right? And so it's always great to
Yes.
have a plan A. If that doesn't work, to have a plan B. And so, we have both little people. I have another younger daughter. She's a sophomore, and so we'll still have baby girl, my baby girl, to
Oh, baby girl.
kind of mold and help shape. And it's very, very important because me being a teacher, I have that aspect as a teacher, wanting, my all of my kids to excel educationally, but also I want them to make sure they understand, the world, the real world around them, and
Yeah.
it's not an easy toll. We have some foundational, happenings over here, and so hopefully we're giving her, and I'm sure you are giving, our kids, the best possible chance to succeed in life. How we raise them, what we do, and just kind of helping to mold their lives. And we want them to be productive, successful citizens wherever they might be.
Absolutely. I completely concur with that. I mean, that's, we're parents. So, that's always like the driver, the driving initiative in my mind is like, okay, so my initiative, my marching orders are to make sure that I make sure that she is situated in a place that she's going to be able to excel. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens for her too, because her life is just beginning and she has a lot of ambitions, and I
Yeah,
can't wait to see what she creates.
absolutely, absolutely. So Tanya says, next for Callie, she'll be my boss in 5 years or less. I firmly believe that Callie is positioned to soar.
Naya is something else, and this is what I'm talking about. This is my sister from another mister. She told me, she says, I'm going to write this down. You're going to be my boss in 5 years. And so she is saying it again for
she's
the
she's a
world to hear.
affirmation is a wonderful thing.
Affirmations are powerful.
Abs-
Affirmations are powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we'll definitely have to have you back in round three of because
Yay.
I typically do it every other season. So I think we went live in the spring. We did West Coast Wednesday in the spring. We're doing it now right at the end of fall. We're right on the cusp of winter, and so we'll bring it back maybe near the end of spring. But I don't know. I mean, if I can get some wonderful guests, I can do this more often. But I think the way I have it set up, at least 10 to 12 weeks in a row. I think we had a couple of hiccups, during this time, but it's all good. But no, we appreciate you hopping on, and I know I can count on you for good conversation because you're about that.
Anytime.
You're about that action. You're about that action, boss. You talk a good game, and I love the energy that you bring into the room, into the space that we're in right now. So even though we're not close to one another virtually, I love the
I mean,
your
come on now.
vibe.
You ain't nothing but around the corner, but okay.
Wait, okay, now Kylie, I'm not there anymore, right? I'm at my real place now.
Okay, okay. So
So
you 2 blocks away is what you're telling me.
listen, if I walk out and go to my car in the morning and see you running down the street over here, I'll be like, wait a minute, how you figure that? How you figure how to get over here to Riley World? You know what I
Right.
mean? Nah, we appreciate it. I'm trying to think if there's any other thing that we said that we were going to talk about in the pre-show. I can't think, but my camera's acting up. So my camera's telling me that we probably need to wrap this thing up. So when I come back, hold on one second. I don't know if if my camera is saying that I need to get a new camera in here. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
you know what? Maybe you need a new cam link.
no, actually, you know what? No, it's definitely the camera. It's not the cam link. It's the camera. It's been acting crazy. I might have to send it in for service. But if I do that, I can always just use my cell phone as a backup. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Booyah! I should appear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there
There
we
you
go.
go. Boom.
All right. So Kevin has a couple of things here. Kevin says, couldn't agree more. The conversation is always fire with the two of you on the screen. Thank you, my man. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm just trying to understand and my aspect as my role as an interviewer. And I'm learning. How to operate all of this stuff. Not only having the conversation with our guests, but also the technology. And I think I've kind of mastered and understand how to use some of these things as well. So, Nani says, I thoroughly enjoyed this live. Definitely among the best I've seen in a very long time. Wow, thank you. No,
Yeah,
thank
so that might
you.
be one of your next guests right there. Naya might be one of your next guests. She's got a lot. She
Hey,
is
you
sharp
know
as
what?
tack, as my mom would say.
Absolutely. Okay, so Nani, I'm gonna have to reach out to you. Kevin says a lot of the time it's the cord from the cam link to the computer. No, it's actually, trust me, it's the camera. My connection to the camera. That's good. It's always the camera. Even my camera spazzed out on me when I was taking pictures with it last Sunday.
Oh,
So it's definitely the camera. Camera link is good. Yeah, it's the camera, and I'm not gonna say what
you know what
camera
I
I'm
want to
using right
ask you,
now.
Mr. Riley? I just
Sure,
thought of something.
go for it.
I love when you did this last year, and I hope you do it this year. Are you gonna do the Kwanzaa this year?
You know what? So yes, I'm really thinking about doing it. And so last year it was more of an impromptu kind of situation. I really
Was
want to
it?
plan it. Yeah, it was kind of impromptu. I mean, now I can plan it out where I have some of the, incorporate some of the libations, incorporate the actual candle
Yeah.
lighting. And so I'm trying to figure out how I can do that. And even have some guests as well. So, nothing this long, but maybe 5-10 minute just conversation about, Kwanzaa. Yeah. So the short answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes. Man, that's okay. Okay. So we
These
might,
interwebs are in for a treat. I loved it last year, and I'm surprised that you said it was on the fly because it was fantastic.
oh man, someone said bring back the Kwanzaa. Let me see who's watching over here on Facebook. Let me see who said that. That's funny. Someone said bring back the Kwanzaa. Okay, hold on. Let me see who's in the comments. Oh, Erwin. Oh, what's up, Erwin? Okay, Erwin said bring back. Okay, definitely. I'll bring back the Kwanzaa. He says bring back the
Two
old
votes.
school Kwanzaa celebration. So, so one time, and I know we kind of getting off topic over here, but one time I had a couple of friends over, and we had a ball, and we thought we were celebrating Kwanzaa, but we were celebrating everything that wasn't Kwanzaa, and we were just like we just died. I mean, it was just like a night full of laughs. We called it. I guess I can say it. We called it Hood Kwanzaa, right?
Oh, I love it.
And, and everything we were saying and doing, it was just like off the chain, hilarious. And so if yeah, that night cannot be repeated, but it was just so funny. Um,
I've been to
oh,
a few good Kwanzaa. Those are good celebrations. Those are good times. Yes.
absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Kevin Cox says maybe Callie will be back sooner than next spring.
Maybe, maybe. Look, if I have some breaking news, and I hope that I do, maybe we
Hey,
could do a special show.
man, I think about what you could bring to the table if you have 5 to 7 minutes during the Kwanzaa celebration.
Okay, got you.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna go Kwanzaa 2.0, and so
Yay!
Nadia says, hopefully she'll be back to talk about her new management role. Oh
Oh,
gosh,
and
that's
Sigil. Yeah, I would love to be a Sigil. I would love to be a Sigil.
okay. Now, what is Digital? You got to help a
Sigil is
brother.
a Sure. Sigil is an elite ServiceNow partner. So this
Got you.
is a company where I would love to be able to get a new role.
Okay. Okay. So ServiceNow has partners. So what are some of the partners? I think you might have mentioned a couple in the very beginning. Then we're going to close up. So what are some of the partners that you know of that ServiceNow is a part of?
Oh, okay. So there's ServiceNow, and then ServiceNow has partners. And what those
Okay.
partners do is that they can go to a company, say like Costco, since we've been using that example, and they can
Yes.
do a ServiceNow implementation, right?
Okay.
And so
Okay.
Cigital would be one of those partners that would be able to do that. And you have partners that are ranked by various levels, and Cigital is like top tier. They're an elite partner.
Ah.
So, they're one of the people who are doing it at the highest level possible.
So is
So
that
that's
your?
why not.
So that's where you want to be?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Cigital is great because they're a smaller company, but they're an elite partner, and they've only been doing this for not almost 5 years now, right? And so Naya is a developer there, and so to be able to be at Cigital and work with Naya, come on now.
Got you. Yeah, no, Kevin, go back. Yeah, go back and there's a couple of websites, and maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and in the description on the YouTube, I'll add some of the websites as well. But I think you told me I'm looking at it now. Developer ServiceNow or ServiceNow developers, and then ServiceNow Learning, and then of course just the basic ServiceNow. So those are three websites that
Yeah.
you can use as a resource as well, Kevin, just so you can kind
Yeah,
of catch up on it.
servicenow.com will give you lots of information. You can go to ServiceNow has various YouTube channels. If you're looking to like learn how to be a developer in the ServiceNow platform, you can go to developers.servicenow.com. If you're looking you can also do it by going to nowlearning.servicenow.com.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. We'll if we keep starting and stopping, we'll be on here all night because
Did
you.
you know I can
I,
go? So
I
I'm
know
gonna shut
you
my
can go.
mouth.
I already,
I'm
you
gonna shut
already
my
know
mouth.
you can go. I can go too. You know, it'll be just me and you hanging out, just talking back and forth. We're like, dang, we've been on here for 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
The
No,
5 hour, remember the 5 hour energy streams? Okay, let me see. There we go again. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop.
no.
Let me stop.
I was part of. I think I was part of one. I wasn't on for the full hour, full full 5 hours, but I think at least 3 hours I was on. Uh,
Wow. See.
let me see. And she says, "Hey, we want you here at Digital." There
Yes.
you
So
go.
I.
All right, there you go. ServiceNow Research Center is a great one too. Okay, cool. So we got a couple of good links for ServiceNow. For those of you who are interested, definitely eye opening to me. And Kali, I wish you good luck on your
Thank you
journey
so much.
to become a supervisor
ServiceNow developer.
ServiceNow developer at Digital. So
Yes. Speaking into existence.
Kevin says, sorry I sent y'all down the path after you covered the topic. It's all good, my man. No, it's all good. We're just having fun over here. And like I said, we appreciate you. Those of you who've been watching the live, Arwen, Kevin, Tanya, we appreciate you. And those of you who've been kind of clicking back and forth, really appreciate you. And then, I appreciate you, Kylie, for hopping on. And so once again, thank you very much. Who knows? We might have you back during Kwanzaa. We'll talk about that. Okay. We'll talk about that. Be thinking about what we can do during that Kwanzaa week. Okay.
I will. I'm trying not to talk too much because
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so do me a favor. I'm gonna send you over in the green room. Go ahead and have your favorite virtual snack, and I'll see you right after the show.
See you then.
All right. So, guys, here we go. Man, such a wonderful, wonderful, awesome evening tonight, and I can't say enough about my friend. Kylie, just a ball of energy. That's what I call her, a ball of energy. I mean, she does like 15 million athletic events. I mean, she runs, she bikes, she swims, she rolls. I mean, she probably double jumps and does underwater basket weaving as well. She probably does it all, right? And I didn't even mention yoga. So just appreciate her hopping on and just giving us a better understanding of what Service Now is all about. So we're going to wrap up the show. Tanya V says, great show, guys. I loved it. I'm a subscriber now. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. And so speaking of being a subscriber, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, you can leave a comment, you can like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all the things that are necessary for a subscriber or for a content creator like me to know that you're watching. So go ahead and subscribe to Mr. Riley's World. And those of you who just hopped on, support Mr. Riley. Buy me a coffee. It's cold outside, right? Buy me a couple of coffees. So don't go to Starbucks. Go right here to buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Riley's World. And, that'll get you into the right direction where you can support the channel. And then last but not least, again, homekit.co. I'm sorry, kit.co. If you want to find out what I'm using for my live stream or on my live stream. I know we were kind of geeking out a couple of moments ago about the cam link, about the camera computers. Well, you can go to kit.co/Mr. Riley's World and you can find out what I'm using, all this stuff that you do not see on my desk. So that'll give you some insight to what we're doing over there. All right. So again, I appreciate you guys watching, and next week we'll probably finish up the season with my friend Cherie Haygood. We call her Coach O. So please stay tuned. And so just want to say again, thank you, Kylie. So for Kylie, for myself, Mr. Riley, thank you for watching. This is Mr. Riley signing off from the West Coast, the best coast. You know what it is. It's the West Side. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care.